There's a shortage of corpses because there's a rise in medical students. Disney World cancels the offensive bear Liver Lips McGrawl, and Japan is cracking down on the use of ridable electric suitcases. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted in a closet. I have 3 weird, kinky, strange news stories from around the world for you. Let's do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Go on and do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. There's a corpse shortage due to a rise in medical students. That's right. A lot of students are studying medicine in Scotland. So many so that it's resulted in a shortage of cadavers. Well, you know, these students will eat anything late night and fried. That's the issue. Just kidding, guys. Sorry for the cannibal jokes, guys. The jokes just come out of my brain sometimes. I don't know what's controlling it. We have here Professor Gordon Findlater. He is the inspector of anatomy. Ooh, an anatomy inspector. This guy's great at parties, huh? What do you do, doctor? I'm a inspector of anatomy. Ooh, you're going to ask me to go to the bathroom now, aren't you, you little critter? Oh, you're so fresh, you sly dog, anatomy inspector. Oh, I wonder if he walks around with a button that says anatomy inspector on it. It's like the worst dad joke in history. That's right up there with a, that's what she said. If I gotta hear, that's what she said again, I'm gonna kill myself. Anyways, Professor Findlater found that surgical colleges were having to cancel university training courses because the demand for bodies was so very, very high. Well, I got a list of names. How many do you need? All right. I got a list of names, and I know a guy. All right? You just call me. Now, it says here the anatomy inspector had a report that he handed over to the government ministers in which he noted that the University of Edinburgh, in particular, had a very serious problem in meeting the demand for bodies. Bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet. I'm getting better. Oh, no, you're not. You'll be stone dead in a moment. The article goes on to give the stats of the number of medical students in the 2023-2024 academic year. It's about 6,000. Now, without having context for that, I don't know if that's a lot or a little. Obviously, it's a lot over there, and there's not enough bodies to go around. I assume there's going to be some after-hours grave digging like back in the day, back in the Middle Ages. Was it the Middle Ages? The beginning of doctorology? The beginning of doctorology. Did I just say that? The very beginnings of the medical industry, when we, at the same time, we were very, very Christian, and the desecration of bodies was looked upon as a major sin. So the earliest medical students weren't really allowed to work on bodies. So after hours, they would go steal bodies from the cemetery. We got here another quote from the inspector of anatomy, who says, "This situation is not helped by the need of the 5 medical schools in Scotland having to meet the increased need for cadavers required to teach the increasing number of medical students they now have to accept." Well, obviously, they need one of those programs, take a cadaver, leave a cadaver. Those are very helpful in situations like this. Don't worry, guys. This is all going to work itself out, right? If you just think about it, just leave it alone. Because with fewer doctors being able to get proper training because of a lack of corpses, that leads to terrible doctors. More terrible doctors leads to more dead people because their training is terrible. More people will die during surgery, right? And that leads to more dead people, which can then be used to train the new doctors, and then we'll have better trained doctors because more cadavers because of the bad doctors from the fewer cadavers. Does that make any sense, guys? Disney cancels the offensive bear Liver Lips McGrawl. Disney has removed a beloved bear from one of its live shows because of concerns that its name is offensive to alcoholics. Liver Lips McGraw is, I guess that's a term that's offensive to alcohol. Liver Lips is offensive to alcoholics. This is new to me. But, obviously a few Karens found it unbearable. Yeah. Liver Lips McGraw is an animatronic bear that has starred in the Country Bear Jamboree at the Magic Kingdom for 50 years. Liver Lips McGrawl, sadly, did not appear when the show returned this week after a 7-month hiatus. Liver Lips has been replaced by a new character named Romeo McGrawl. Ooh, I think you should watch out for Romeo. Romeo might be into some unwanted touching. Romeo McGraw, who has his predecessor's large pout but is dressed in a sky blue jumpsuit and has blonde hair. The article describes the term liver lips here. It means large swollen lips and is linked with excessive alcohol consumption and liver damage. It has also historically been associated with racist stereotypes of African Americans. Well, considering that this is a racist term, I'm surprised they weren't on top of this a little earlier. Don't worry, guys. No more liver lips. We got Romeo now. I suggested that they use a cocaine bear as a replacement for the alcoholic bear, but they didn't listen to me. We got a little quote from the Disney blog who says, "The name Liver Lips is considered insensitive and outdated, and the character's reboot reflects Disney's commitment to creating a more inclusive and respectful environment for its guests." Well, you also should get rid of that Captain Gropey that's in Pirates of the Caribbean. I tell you, man. That guy made my ride very uncomfortable. There's a pirate called Captain Gropey, right? Or was that just the dude sitting behind me in the ride? This move provoked anger from some fans who accused the bosses at Disney of going woke. Oh, goodness. You got the anti-woke mob jumping on this. They lose it when you remove old racist things from the culture, like the statues of certain generals and racist bears with big lips going on. I say you get rid of the whole bear bit anyways. It's those animatronic robot bears. That's just so stupid. Do kids like that anymore? I can't imagine they do. These kids are raised on the most high-definition, all-engrossing media experiences. And now you're going to put like a robot covered in fur in front of them? I don't know. I just don't. To me, that doesn't seem like the greatest of entertainments. You're Disney. You can go crazy, right? The article has a comment from someone who's offended by the move who says, "What's next? Donald Duck is now going to speak perfectly, be calm, and have an English accent? What the heck?" Another person said that Walt Disney, who designed the attractions shortly before his death in 1966, would be, quote, rolling in his grave. Liver Lips McGraw's removal is part of wider efforts by Disney to remove potentially problematic characters from its theme parks. Now, in case you don't know, the Country Bear musical Jamboree, in which Liver Lips was a part of, was one of the original attractions when Walt Disney World opened in 1971 and features animatronic bears that perform Disney songs in a variety of country styles such as rockabilly, bluegrass, and Americana. And there's videos of this on YouTube of the Country Bear musical Jamboree. I watched a video of Liver Lips just to refresh my memory. Yeah, they're like, they're robots covered in fur. They look kind of outdated. Yeah, they were made in 1971. You should update the whole thing, is what I'm saying. And does anyone else find the song that Liver Lips is singing to be offensive? It's all about how his girlfriend is fat and not pretty. I thought that was pretty offensive. Singing about your fat, ugly girl. Yeah, I'm not joking. The song is called My Woman Ain't Pretty. That's the title of the song, man. Now it says here they got a revamped version of the Country Bears which promises a foot-stomping good time. And it opens this week with a new script and a new soundtrack produced by Mac McNally, a country singer-songwriter. But sadly for some people, there'll be no Liver Lips McGraw singing about his ugly girlfriend. This guy's also, can I just say, Liver Lips seems to be promoting lip fillers, and I'm not sure I support that. Japan cracks down on ridable electric suitcases. As record numbers of tourists flock to Japan to take advantage of the weak Japanese yen, some are running into trouble with authorities thanks to the growing popularity of motorized ridable suitcases. Have you guys seen these yet? I saw quite a few of them while I was traveling in Asia in April and May. They look like a lot of fun. My experience was I saw mostly young people on the suitcases, kids. They don't look as though they would hold the weight of an adult, But let's keep reading and find out the dangers of the suitcases, what Japan is doing to crack down on them, how many people are getting DUIs on these things. Let's find out. It says here, 2 major Japanese airports have already asked travelers to please not ride motorized suitcases within their facilities. Police are urging domestic retailers to warn customers of these strict laws concerning their usage as well. In recent years, motorized luggage, similar to children's scooters but powered by lithium-ion batteries, have become more common among travelers while also being popularized by celebrities such as Paris Hilton and someone named Shilpa Shetty. Anyone know Shilpa Shetty? No idea who this person is. Japan currently classifies these electric suitcases, which are popular in the rest of Asia, as, quote, motorized vehicles that can be ridden on roads only with the required safety equipment and a driver's license. Wow, they're requiring you to have a driver's license for these things. Funny, because I don't even think you need a driver's license to ride the electric scooters in Japan, but you're going to need it for this motorized suitcase, and they want you to ride it on the road as well. I can't imagine seeing one of these on the road. Sir, do you know how fast you were going? I don't know, 3. Damn right! Arrest him! Says here, in June, a woman in her 30s studying in Japan was referred to prosecutors for driving without a license after she allegedly rode a 3-wheeled suitcase on a sidewalk in Osaka. Under Japan's traffic laws, the woman's suitcase, which can travel up to 13 kilometers an hour, is categorized as a motorized bicycle, the same as some mopeds. The police reiterated to the public that licenses are required for any mobile luggage. In addition, a boy in July rode a motorized suitcase past pedestrians along a street in Osaka's bustling Dotonbori shopping district. The family was surprised to learn that a driving license was mandatory for these vehicles. According to someone named Takeru Shibayama, senior scientist at an Institute of Technology and Transportation, Japan's broad range of vehicles, which fall under the category of motorized bicycles, may force the country to discuss whether a new classification should be established to deal with these electric suitcases. Now, from my observation, these electric suitcases aren't that big of a deal. Skateboards go faster than these things. You know what's more annoying than kids on these suitcases is kids in those rolly sneakers bombing around everywhere. If you're going to ban them from the airport, though, I can see that because, I don't know, lately these airports have been extremely crowded. There's not enough room for any vehicles in the airport. It's just too many people around. I'm not even a fan of those golf carts that the actual airport drives around. Those things, I've been almost run over so many times by those things. There's not enough room for those, and they're transporting, like, handicapped people. Yeah, the airport's a nightmare. There's no place for these things. Now, should you have a driver's license to ride it out along a sidewalk somewhere in front of your house or whatever? I don't agree with that either. Sounds like just alarmist reactions. The article goes on to say that Japan has lately struggled to deal with new forms of transportation. Traffic violations involving electric scooters surged fourfold in the 6 months after restrictions were eased in July 2023. The loosened regulations allow for people over age 16 to ride them without a driver's license. They are now very common in big cities such as Tokyo. Yeah, and those electric scooters go a hell of a lot faster than those suitcases, and people over 16 can ride them without a driver's license. And you could be seriously maimed by one of those electric scooters. I'm just saying. Not so much the suitcases. So if all you want to do is zoom, and a boom, boom on those little suitcases, I'm okay with it, just not in the airport. Please. They look like fun, though. Hi, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for spending some time with your buddy Jonesy. I appreciate it. I want to give some love to someone who sent me a great email. Claire Spears. She wrote me. She says, I'm from the northeast coast of England in a little seaside town called Redcar. I listen to you every day as part of my Alexa Start My Day routine. I couldn't find any way I could rate the show through Alexa, Jonesy, so I'm writing this email to say you definitely deserve a full 5-star rating, possibly even a 10. Your wicked sense of humor always cheers me up. The only criticism I have is that sometimes I feel you could definitely go further with the jokes and properly rip the piss out of some of the people. Then in quotations, she says, British slang for taking the mickey, in case you haven't heard that expression. But I understand that cancel culture makes it difficult for comedians these days, Jonesy, which is a whole other topic I won't get into. Anyway, you are doing a stellar job of brightening up my weekday mornings, Jonesy, and I just wanted to thank you for that. Sending good vibes and cheers your way. Love from Claire. Isn't that a sweet email? Super sweet. Thank you so much, Claire. I haven't heard rip the piss before. I've heard of taking the piss out of people. Take the piss out of them. And I haven't heard the phrase taking the mickey. So from my understanding, taking the mickey is drinking a Mickey, which is a malt liquor beverage that we have here in the States. I don't know if you have that there. Anyways, shout out to Claire. I know you want to hear me rip into people more. I do enough of it. I think, believe it or not, Claire, people reach out to me saying that I go too far as it is. And I know you'll be surprised to hear that, but some people can't handle as far as I'm going, never mind going further. So, but I hear you, girl. I would want to go crazy, but, I'm just trying to find a kind of like a middle ground. I think that's the best way to do it. Would I love to go over the top, taking the piss out of these morons? Yes, I would. But on some episodes I do, and some episodes I just keep it mild. So in the end, it's kind of like a middle ground that I find, and it's always mood dependent. Sometimes I'm in an angry mood and I'll go off, and sometimes I'm in a happier mood and I won't go so crazy. Anyways, if you guys want to send me a nice email like Claire did, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. You can also send me a DM in my Instagram @funnyjones. That's where we're at. If you'd like to call the show, the number 646-450-2012. And if you would like to support the show, then please visit the website weirdafnews.com, where you can buy me a coffee or a beer, or you can join the Patreon. I've been putting in some pretty cool content in the Patreon this week, and I have more content scheduled out for the rest of the week. So you'll be getting, those of you who are in the Patreon, just look out for that stuff. Some pretty cool stuff in there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the episode, and hope you will join me for tomorrow's episode. And good luck with your life, man. Love ya.